We're back with another awful night of football. It's JFace 907 with Charter 04 as we see Montgomery take the shotgun handoff and he gets a first down for the Titans. Had to join this one in action. A little bit of technical difficulties on my side, but hey, it is what it is. Charter, how are you doing on this December 1st evening?
Doing great. Just a bunch of kids in the house getting ready for Christmas, so we're doing good.
Right on, right on. We see a
A
stretch
bunch of
handoff
kids.
over
I
to
mean, my
Montgomery.
kids,
My kids too,
not
they're
just
getting
some,
ready.
not just some random kids. It's just
No, you got randos in your house. You acquire them with age, so I've heard.
yeah, age and other things, but it definitely got. Well, the 12-year-old, she's not quite got the same excitement as the two younger ones.
Tannehill drops back to pass, and he's going deep to James Jr. there. Cannot hold on to it after initially getting the ball in his hands. You don't want to fumble the ball like that, but he went up high and fumbled those balls.
Yeah, looking forward to this matchup because last time we saw NB was the Super Bowl where he had a big blowout win, and I think Gravity last time we had him on here, he got beat real bad by Perry.
Yeah,
So
he was our. We started off here season 3 of Awful Night with Gravity. He wanted retribution. He wanted redemption rather. Excuse me. He wanted redemption at last week's episode. He wanted to come back and he wanted to avenge that 50 burger that was laid on him.
from looking at some of the scores, he has been playing a lot better. So maybe that first game was been a while since he's been playing, kind of deal. Maybe he's gonna get it going this game. Maybe he already
Tannehill with
has it
all
going. I don't know.
kinds of time. Oh my goodness. A.J. Brown coming back to the football was chilling in the back of the end zone and said, you know what? It's scramble drill time. Let's go right back to Tannehill. And wow, what a dime. I tell you what, I don't know if Eason Bond's throwing that kind of pass.
Yeah,
Oh, nasty miss on the extra point there. That one never had a chance. As if you notice, there is quite a bit of a rainstorm here in Nashville for this one. Always seems like there's just one or two games where you just get dumped on in terms of the rain or snow.
you gotta hate being dumped on. But
I
that
hear Odell Beckham is a fan though.
they got the 16-mile-an-hour wind going on, so I'm sure that's gonna that with rain, I'm sure is gonna do a little bit to the kicking game that sometimes is already difficult anyway. But that should be something that to look out for is to see who's going to be able to make the adjustments and still kick the extra points, field goals, all that good stuff. So far, we got an 0 for 1
Oh for one, yeah.
from Gravity's side.
Currently batting a whopping 0 right now. As we see Joe Burrow take the shotgun pass, and he is off target on his first throw of the game. Maybe the wind and the rain playing a little bit with him there, as we actually do see that a trait in this one, which it's obvious knowing that it's rain, is slippery when wet. They play Bon Jovi randomly through the game. No, I'm sorry, that's not this. It's where your footing is hampered.
Yeah, and we'll see if it makes any difference. If anybody actually does slip and slide.
Take it to the house. Anyway, that's a verticals there by the Bengals as Moore with the reception, getting 21 yards on the play for the Bengals. That was a little trick daddy joke there, Charter. I'm not quite sure if that was up your alley or not.
I guess I missed it. I didn't catch it.
Joe Mixon takes the handoff, and he is boogieing all through the Titans defense, getting himself 17 yards on the play. Big time first down carry for Joe Mixon there.
Speaking of slippery when wet, Joe Mixon looks to be pretty slippery and wet,
Yeah.
sliding right through their hands.
Whew. As we see shotgun here with trips over to the right. Hitting a quick flat is Burrow to Bradshaw. And we see a little bit of aggression from Gravity on the sticks there with a big-time whiff on a hit stick. I tell you what, that's the last thing I want to do in a rain game is try and hit stick somebody in the open field.
I think Gravity has been watching King Bernard play, and so he's maybe taken some pointers from him and his lack of tackling ability because it looks to be similar.
Ooh, didn't need any really anything tackling wise there as some friendly fire. Joe Mixon trips over his own offensive lineman and really prevents what probably was a touchdown there. Instead, just a 7-yard gain.
I don't at this point. I don't even think NB needs to use juke moves or anything. Just move around with the left stick, and he's just going to have just flying missed tackles everywhere.
We see Joe Burrow take the shotgun snap and hits Mixon out in the flat. He gets the first down there, but I actually thought he might have not gotten that second foot down. It was kind of bang bang as far as where the second foot landed.
Definitely would not try to challenge it because
No,
I don't know how the
not
challenge system is.
not at this point in the game anyway. As we see Joe Burrow here in the shotgun again, as we know the Zach Taylor offense is, at least I'm pretty sure he has not switched playbooks yet. I did not check his staff before we started, but very shotgun heavy is the Bengals playbook if he is still using them.
Oh, I mean, what would be an awful night of football if research went on before the game?
And we like to
That
do our research during the game, as I am currently bringing up mymadden.com right now. As we see Penny taking the shotgun handoff, and he gets 4 yards. I had to give him credit with 5, as it's 3rd and 5. Big time early third down here for the Titans defense. Keeping the Bengals out of the end zone is a huge win here if they can do it.
That's a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and go to mymadden.com as well. I'll know a little bit of something.
Joe Burrow takes the snap, and he's looking, throws it into coverage, and is lucky that it just falls to the ground, as that was nearly picked off. Great stop there by Gravity and his Titans D.
Yeah, that's a big stop. Unfortunately, it's going to be makes this a 3-point game. It could be a 4-point game, but be made a actually adjusted pretty well there with the win.
Yeah, the Chippy does go through as it is 6-3. Now we'll see here Titans if they can respond with a score of their own after a big stop. Or at least a big stop when you're playing someone like NB where you're expecting to give away points. As we see, wow, that kick icon really is like about good 5 yards off there. That looked like it was about 3 yards in front of the end zone. Instead, the ball landed 2 yards behind the goal line.
Yeah, that's one of the little known tricks that some know and some don't. If you move your guy out of the way, they have it set up to where most of the time the ball will just go straight into the end zone. I think they put that in there because people used to those little cheat kicks where it would like land, your guy couldn't get it. I don't know. It was some kind of trick that the pro kind of players would use.
You
and they had
can't
to,
see
like,
my hand, but it's up right now as I confess to you on an Awful Night broadcast during Season 1 on PlayStation 2. That was something I used to do was do those little pooch kickoffs that would land right in the field of play and bounce into the end zone so you can recover for a touchdown. As we see a wheel route there, or it looks like maybe a fade. I don't know where you technically.
I think that was a fade from a slot, like a slot fade.
There you go. Yeah, James Jr. with the big catch there, and the Titans are already in Bengal territory.
Yeah, so we got the Bengals at 3-0, so they haven't lost yet. And for this play, I'll look at the Titans. Probably already have.
Titans 2-1, they're undefeated since we last broadcasted them.
Yeah, so I think he's clearly must be figuring some things out, which well, his last opponent was the Colts, so I don't know if he figured anything out to beat them.
Yeah,
I don't know who their coach is, but
didn't need to learn anything to win that game.
Hey, you should know something about them since you just played them.
Yeah. I tell you what, Tannehill, he's continuing on the heater that he was on against me. The kid, or now he's technically an old man in our file, could not miss against me. And he looks like even the rain is not slowing him down here. So he is 5 for 6 already. But yeah, that was the Tannehill that showed up in my game against him was not the Tannehill we saw when he took on Perry and the Houston Texans.
Perry was probably using a game genie messing him up or something.
Had to have been. But we did.
So
we piggybacked off his stream, so we can't really confirm nor deny what was going on.
Yeah. Well, he played Reality's Proof and then the Colts. So that was his last 2 games.
I tell you what, that's a gauntlet right there, Charter. That is just a gauntlet.
big wins against both.
Big wins. Really set him up for this game right here. As we see Tannehill is all kinds of time again. And that was actually something I noticed in my game against Gravity as well. As Tannehill is very well protected.
Yeah, that offensive line of Tennessee, they look pretty good. They've got 76, 71, 70. Well,
Punching
I
above
guess
their weight as there's not a player
yeah.
over 80, but still,
I was thinking it
nonetheless.
was. I was thinking it was going to be really good, but then I was like, well, actually,
We
it
see a
was kind of
big
average. But
4th and inches here as early in the game, 3-point lead against the defending user champ. We have to say user champ. Are you going for it here like Gravity is?
I think you do in this game because you want to try to be as aggressive as possible, and it looks like it
Paid off
paid
as
off. Yeah,
really I was kind of worried there that he was going to get the short end of the stick on the spot because he ran right into his offensive lineman when there was a hole there in the beginning.
I think if you're down here in this end and it's 4th and 1, it's probably wise to always go for it for the most part in real life and in Madden.
Gravity sees the look he wants as he snaps right with 1 second left on the first quarter clock, and he's going to get about 6 yards on this play here as we go into the second quarter, 6-3. Some would say, I mean, it's only the end of the first quarter, but some would say we might be on upset alert right now.
I mean, he seems to be. You can just tell when somebody's playing with confidence and they know what they're looking at. They're seems like he's got it going pretty good right now.
Bringing some motion over from right to left as it's an end around. Lazard takes the handoff. He's going to try and outrun the linebacker. Can't do it. Doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmages. That's a loss of 1. That looked like he was actually setting up nicely for a half second there.
As soon as he had things going on, he decided to go with one of those classic plays that never works, the reverse.
It looks
Or at least I've
or
never
works
seen him
only
work.
when you get one look, very specific look, and he didn't get that look there. More motion from Alan Lazard here on this shotgun formation as we see a wide open man just short of the end zone, goes with the possession catch, so he gets downed at the 1, and the Titans are in business. Beard with the catch there.
I think probably another advantage is he's kind of getting things going, and MB has no experience playing against him. I don't think.
No,
Or at least it's been a while. Maybe if they have.
Wide open hole. It parted like the Red Sea there as David Montgomery gets in the end zone for the Titans.
We talked about this a little bit pregame, but you mentioned getting some eggnog. I was wondering if you actually did go with the eggnog tonight.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to make the run out there, and my wife wasn't going to be able to make it back in time to do the running for me. So it's not a old fashioned this time. It's a Manhattan, but that's what I'm rocking with tonight. And you did in fact go with the eggnog.
I've got the fireball infused eggnog.
Very nice.
Not really infused, but you know what I mean.
What's your ratio? Is it about 3/4 fireball and 1/4 eggnog? Or?
I probably went almost half a glass of the fireball, then added the eggnog.
Very
Wasn't
nice.
quite half and half.
Ooh.
I just love the taste of the fireball, cinnamon type of flavor with the eggnog. Goes real good with it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. As we see Joe Burrow there airmail another first down pass. But when it does come to eggnog, have you ever tried any of the eggnog liqueurs that already have the liquor in them?
No, I hadn't had any of that. I don't even think I don't know, the grocery stores, they usually carry that kind of thing because I'm not sure. I know that like most of the Walmarts and grocery stores here usually don't have like harder liquor, usually just like wine or that kind of thing. So I don't know if they carry the eggnog with alcohol already in it. I might be wrong, but no, I hadn't had it, but
Okay.
I'd like to try that.
Evan Williams, a bourbon distiller, or I don't know if it's when it's bourbon, if it's still distilling, but they make one of the eggnogs with the liquor already in it, and it's not bad, not bad.
It's funny that actually my wife got some Evan Williams for the eggnog
Oh, nice.
mix with it, and so we have that sometimes too. But we already had Fireball also, so I just wanted some of that.
Oh, Gravity chooses the shallow route rather than the deep man. NB picks it up, but unfortunately, Joe Burrow betrays him, overshoots everybody. That would have been a huge touchdown if those two had connected.
He got the perfect defensive play call for the offensive play call he had, and had the seam wide open. And yeah, that hurts when your quarterback trays you that way.
Oh, Simmons comes barreling through, and wow, I don't know what happened. I couldn't see it through the rain, but he gets cut block out of nowhere, and Joe Mixon's able to get back to the line of scrimmage when he looked DOA for a second there.
He was beat his man, and then somehow it warped him into a block or what happened, but
Warped him
yeah,
into
that
a
was
wicked
weird
cut
looking.
block, it looked like.
Yeah,
Big time 3rd and 10 here as Joe Burrow gets hit as he throws and it's dropped. Oh, that was a pick six. That was your classic throw out a sack right into the defender's hands, but NB gets bailed out with the dropped interception there.
we've got Gravity getting bailed out with the overthrow, and now MB getting bailed out with the drop pick six. So I guess we'll call it even.
I think we can call it even considering 2 touchdowns were essentially wiped away there in one drive.
I don't know what frustrates me more, the drop pick six like that or the overthrow when you got an open seam, but both of them are pretty frustrating.
As we see David Montgomery just get the ball back out of the end zone as it was nearly a safety after a beautiful punt and down by the coverage team there. Jesse Bates just shooting through the hole like a missile, nearly getting the Bengals 2 points.
Yeah, that he was very fortunate to get out of the end zone.
This is one of those times where I like to come out in a jumbo set here and actually call a pass, a pass out of a running formation.
It's really hard. I mean, being at your own one like that, not always easy to know what to do because you're trying not to get a safety, you're trying not to get a pick six. So many bad things it seems like that can happen, but you can get too conservative sometimes too.
As we see Tannehill go with the seam route, there's Beard right in the middle of the field. It looks like that was a hot route there, as the play art that we have access to seeing here was not originally sending Beard on that seam route, but great adjustment at the line there by Gravity.
That was a huge. I mean, everything he's been doing the last few drives has been huge plays. It just playing good.
Gravity running into a stacked box there as David Montgomery only gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Yeah, we're going to call it 2nd and 9, but definitely not the look I would have ran into. But what do I know? I'm the Colts owner after all. If you didn't know already, I'm the Colts. I'm the guy that just got waxed by Gravity before this game.
And the bad thing about eggnog is it's so easy to drink quick. I'm already done with that.
I would need like both the Fireball and the eggnog right next to me here at my on my PC, and just boop boop, just mixing them up all through the broadcast.
If I would have done that, I definitely would be on my second pass of it. I'm going to actually go with a very cordial. I think that cordial, very cordial. You can say that.
Oh, as we see a little misdirect here, James Jr. He's going to get a big yardage there. It's technically a forward pass there as the play action with then a pitch pass forward for about 12, or no, not 12. What am I thinking? About 15 yards there, 15, 16 yards for the Tennessee Titans.
I've got these holiday Bud Light seltzers. It's a cherry cordial, however you say that.
Okay.
I don't know why talking is not as easy right now.
Oh, Tannehill puts the ball right onto A.J. Brown, but the hit jars the ball loose. It's going to be incomplete there. I think for that one, you almost have to go with a high pass to maybe see if it leads the receiver up the field a little bit more. But hey, I mean, that was
Sometimes
another
you
good read.
sometimes you do overthrow them on those high passes, but that's what I try to do over the middle on those situations because just get it right over the defender.
And I can never get the button press right for a touch pass. So,
Yeah,
oh, nearly intercepted there as the defender was shading outside of Lazard. That could have really flipped things on its head had that been caught by the defense.
I think one year they did the double tap uh, touch pass. I really liked that being able to just the double tap, but I think that's now pump fake.
Yes, it is.
Nobody ever uses. It's
Just
like
takes
good
so
thing they
long.
well just I just think it's funny that they took something away that I feel like people probably used with a touch pass and then gave us something that I've hardly ever see anybody use with a pump fake.
Well, and I keep bringing it up in our Discord, just how much I would love pocket moves again.
Oh yeah, was that with the right stick?
That was with the right stick. You could do subtle
Okay.
pocket moves, and with how much elite quarterbacks in the NFL display those pocket moves, and we've had a couple quarterbacks on the cover here in the last few years. In fact, two of them just in this year alone. I would think they would have given the quarterback some sort of feature or gameplay mechanic, but not to be. As we see Joe Burrow going deep to Jamar Chase, and Fulton runs with him stride for stride. In fact, gets under the ball before Chase does and nearly comes away with the interception.
Ooh, other other drop picks. We've got like three of those now.
I tell you what, Gravity's corners, I threw quite a few interceptions to them, specifically Caleb Farley, someone who was drafted in our file. I mean, this kid is a stud. If I noticed that NB has not really gone Farley's way at all yet, so we'll see if he ever does. Oh, actually, no, he is a real life player. I do apologize. I thought he was because of how. Oh yeah, he's the kid from. I'm making epiphanies here as I'm talking out loud. He's the kid out of Vatek. Okay, but yeah, he was
I was gonna let you start realizing it as you went.
just destroyed me. Absolutely destroyed me. But I mean, when you look at who he is, or not who he is, but what is. Oh, as we see Burrow, another one sails. Oddly enough, another short route out on the outside, but 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 93 agility. No wonder this man was running my receivers' routes better than they were.
He came into the file very good with those physical attributes. I mean, he was a beast.
And he was someone that was, as Helu actually points it out. I should have ignored your chat lines here, fella. No, hope you knocked out what you had going there. Best of luck to you on that. As I mentioned, the Battle of the Undefeateds in the NFC West were our originally scheduled program, but he had tons of injury issues in Vatek that really tanked his draft stock. Even though he was still a high pick in terms of in the first round, but could have been easily the first corner off the board.
And he got hurt in real life this year
Yeah,
already. So the injury problems are following him into real life ball, which of course in our world in Madden, injury bug doesn't quite get us the same way it does in real life.
although
Kind of random.
someone in our file, I can't remember who, they just made the line of it in our Discord, just had a corner go down for like the third or fourth time in practice, thanks to these new practice injuries.
I
Oh,
think that was MB.
oh, you might be right, as we see just a vicious hit to T. Higgins right across the middle. Shocked he held onto that ball, especially here in the rain.
I think it was the corner he drafted. Um, Keeps getting hurt and he hasn't even been able to use him.
As we see, oh man, more open field misses out of the Titans defense. Easily gets the Bengals about another 5 or 6 yards there. The Bengals here in business inside of the red zone now as Joe Mixon takes the shotgun handoff. He gets hit stick, but luckily for NB, holds onto the football there as they are now inside of the 3-yard line. I tell you what, Gravity's still whiffing, but hey, at least he's nailed a couple here in the last 3 downs.
I guess you just play the percentages. Eventually, maybe you're going to get one.
Stretch play here for Walton as he gets into the end zone. Actually took a hit stick there too, but did not get him square as he falls in for 6 for the Bengals.
Gravity's decided I'm gonna hit stick every single tackle, and if I miss 75% of the time, maybe 25%, I'll force a fumble out of one of them.
Right? One of these is going to hit. One of them.
Then you also have the when you use that, especially if he's using, I think it's X version of hit stick, he'll dive and like cut the legs out from somebody. So I've seen him do a few of those.
I
Also
feel
another
like I feel like he is
benefit.
only doing the stick for these because
That's
when
probably what he's doing.
when I played against him, I think he was using X, and he was. I mean, there was so much ankle grabbing in my. I mean, you probably can go to my broadcast and just listen to me talk about the ankles all being grabbed as we see double coverage thrown into there. That's the Tannehill and the gravity that we saw in our first broadcast of this season. Hopefully, he doesn't bring that guy out again.
Yeah, it might have even been triple coverage. By the time the ball got there, guys were around and somehow it fell to the ground.
Tannehill takes the shotgun snap and he hits Montgomery out of the backfield there. 10-yard gain as a first down. He's going to go no huddle. Even though he's got all 3 timeouts, he's going no huddle right now. Tick, 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 tick. As we break out the old Chris Berman, as we see Tannehill overthrows everybody. That was 3rd down. He actually did not get the first down on the spot there, so he's going to have to punt this football as, whew, man, some really poor clock management out of gravity there, if you ask me.
And see, this is why NB is always a Super Bowl contender. Seems like everything, like Gravity's played such a good first half, and it's 13-10.
Yeah, playing
It's just like,
arguably a perfect game and only going to be up 3 points at the half.
and it's just those, like, you really have to be on top of those little things like that, like, poor clock management or just, I don't know, taking care of the ball. Like, you really just can't let anything slide to come up with a win.
Speaking of not letting anything slide, NB's not going to let gravity go to the half here very easily, as he is going to try and get a couple plays out of this. Only gets about 7 yards on that one, as we're going to see one last play with 3 seconds left here in the first half.
I wish I could see a replay of that pass because I think the ball just shot out of his body. I don't even think he moved his arm forward.
It's one of those things where, throw out a sack benefits the defense and sometimes the offense, as it'll just find a receiver. As Joe Burrow takes an unnecessary hit on the sideline there in the last play of the half. It's a 3-point ball game, 13-10, Tennessee Titans out in front. Now, we did not see the kickoff, so I don't even know who's getting the ball here.
I think I did see the kickoff, but you can't count on me. I actually had the stream on, but I wasn't paying attention. And that last little play, that was a little dangerous because it was a screen pass. It wasn't open, and then he ran it. And there's just a lot of bad things that can happen when you run with your pocket passer like that.
Walton does take it out of the, I shouldn't say take it out of the end zone, but just decides to take it in general after seeing, both men decide to take the gamble on a ball hitting the end zone when it's just short of it. But he takes it to about the 24-yard line. I tell you what, after watching this, I think I'm going to let anything within 5 yards of the end zone just hit, see what happens.
If you just switch to the guy, the returner, and then sometimes it won't let you control them enough, but if you just move out of the way, the ball will just kick. Even if it lands, it'll just kick straight back in the end zone or touch back on pretty much every time, I think.
Okay. So we see Joe Burrow take the snap. He's going on the outside there to Joe Mixon, and we're seeing tons of missed tackles once again there. Oh, man.
I saw a couple of dives. I saw a couple of go for the strip, the RB button moves. I miss a lot of tackles trying to do that. Like that's definitely something I do too much is try to do the RB, go for the strip, and I get very few strips that way. I probably shouldn't. I probably should not do it anymore. But I always think maybe this one time I'll strip the ball.
And the worst thing is when you do actually get that strip, because then you're just going to do it even more after that.
That's like winning the lottery or winning some kind of money in a casino. As
Yeah.
soon as you win a little bit, it's like, oh, I'm going to win a bunch.
Burrow fakes the handoff. He's got all kinds of time. He's going to rock back and throw. He's got a man open. Oh, what closing speed by the safety there. Wow, he had a lot of ground to make up there, and luckily for gravity, he made up all of it.
I don't know who that safety is. It must be, which I say it's going to be a good player, but looking at the offensive line, I thought it was going to be better.
It had to have been Amani Hooker, I would have thought. Oh, I don't
He's
think
on.
he had. Did he have any feet in there? It looked like now he's wearing all white. The sideline's white. I don't know what, but I'm almost wondering if you got a. Let's see here. Can we get a zoom in on the feet? Oh, we move on to the
He
action
barely
on the
got it. It
field.
looked like
Yeah, barely.
that was Armani Hooker
It was
that
Hooker. Okay.
made that play.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's getting to the point where NB's not even juking anymore. He is just either stopping or just using the left stick, like you were saying. He's picked up on this. He knows he doesn't have to do anything.
A juke move would actually probably be worse at this point.
You might actually risk a warp. As we see a well timed screen call, he's going into the end zone untouched. Penny, for your thoughts? No, for a touchdown.
That was a perfect play call. The screen. Sometimes they set up really great. We talk about screenplays.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, you get one like that. Just sets up perfect and play call. And
NB.
NB is going. He's going to celebrate going in the end zone. You
Yes,
can
he
guarantee
is.
it.
Because he is
Can't be
toxic.
toxic.
Yeah.
You can't be Mr. Toxic if you don't celebrate going in the end zone.
As this is NB and the Bengals' first lead of the ball game. I tell you what, if I was a betting man, the first lead of the Bengals coming in just a little shy of the beginning of the second half, I'd have lost some money.
I mean, yeah, we need heels in every organization, every league. You got to have a heel, and guys they just buy into it and they embrace it. He's just
NB, not
embracing.
babyface. That's what that means. Not babyface.
He's he's embracing being the heel of an awful football league.
Second and 11 here for the Titans as Ryan Tannehill's in the shotgun. Takes the snap and he's looking. He's looking. He throws it probably a little bit too late as we see a user swat there by NB and Jesse Bates. I tell you what, Gravity had somebody open out in the flat there, but I can sense I think Gravity's starting to get a little itchy of a trigger finger here. He wants something big.
And Tannehill was doing that falling back, throw it motion, so it wasn't going to be a good pass probably.
Oh, right into the middle of the field where all the Bengal defenders are. Mike Hilton takes it, and we see art imitate real life as, oddly enough, Mike Hilton did have the pick six for the Bengals in the real world, and he has a pick six here for NB in the awful night of football.
And I just want to also mention the uniforms of the Bengals. I really like the white pants, white shirt,
White
look
socks,
they
white
got going.
shoes, all white everything.
I think it's a nice look. What do I know?
I will say that the Bengals rocking these new uniforms that the Bengals came out with in general. I think this is their debut season in the real world. Was not a fan of them all that much when they just did the little fashion show reveal or whatever, but these suckers look clean when they get out on the field on Sunday. I actually really like them.
Especially in the way the lighting is a little bit uh, rainy, it pops out, and against the blue, I think is that dark blue that the Titans have.
The really dark navy of the Titans.
Really good, goes good up against that. And I could just tell when it was 13-10. Just knew that wasn't that had a possibility to be trouble for you to have that type of half and only be up by 3. Now we're starting to see that shark in the water, smelling blood situation from the Bengals, and they're
And if
if
your
Gravity
gravity here,
wants to
you
hang
just
in there,
gotta
he's going to have to score here.
yeah, and you just gotta take what you're being given. You know, you don't really want to push the issue, even though you now have seen the score flip and you're the one down by 10. You still have to just take what's being given to you.
He's definitely starting to try to go deep, go down the field too much probably, and not take his shots, take
Right
his
on
check downs
cue,
enough.
going deep, taking a shot. Jesse Bates, the only one that reacts to the football. Luckily for Gravity, it's a drop. But man, right on cue, you called it right there.
You called it first, so I'm going to give you the credit first. Yeah, it was definitely what we were talking about.
Tannehill drops back. He's got people. Oh my goodness! I thought that ball might have been caught on the drop, but nope. It falls harmlessly to the turf as we see the punt unit now come out in number 69. Nice for the Titans, as we discussed last week with the punter for the Gravity.
Yeah, that play looked like it hit 83 and it hit off his hands to a DB that dropped it, which I guess I didn't think about it. The drops are probably because of the rain. I do know that does have an effect on ability of especially defense backs. So I didn't really think about that. That might be why we're seeing more defensive back drops.
Catch rating already a little bit lower on those fellas, so the rain probably impacting that, like you're saying. As we see Joe Burrow with the play action. Oh, he gets sacked. Justin Simmons with a little ankle biting, hit him below the knees. I've never liked that in
That's
Madden ever, but it's effective.
that's the Saran classic.
Yes.
It's his
Yes.
it's his favorite user D tackle move. The blow out a knee move that somehow our quarterbacks never actually get hurt, but if that happened in real life, goodness. First of all, it'd be roughing the passer.
Right. But it's a huge sack for the Titans defense as Burrow, he's dropping back again. Another throw on the outside that's not very accurate for the what is he now? Season 3. This would make him what, year 4, year 5 quarterback out of LSU. That's becoming a trend for him here. Outside passes just not being there for him.
Thinking maybe it's the rain's affecting him, but he has uh, good accuracy rating, so it shouldn't be too bad.
As we see a draw play get about 15 yards there. Penny nearly got the first down for the Bengals as it took took a really tough tackle by Casey there. As I thought Gravity was going to miss some more tackles with hit sticking and whatnot there.
Sometimes you can slip those little draw plays in big yards. That's a good safe call. I'm looking at Burrow, and he's got 88 throw power, which, you know, compared to my guy, it is noticeable going to 98 throw power. But 88's not too bad. But he's under 90 in all 3 of the accuracies, but he's high 80s. But I do think that 90 threshold seems to make a difference.
Whole
That
different
might
ball
be
game
some of
there as
the
we see David Montgomery go butt over tea kettle there with a low hit stick out of NB. Didn't quite see the license plate on that moving vehicle there as he really just sent David Montgomery flying, but it's a 4-yard gain for the running back.
another wild tackle attempt. It actually worked out this time.
Tannehill drops back to pass. He's got time, but until he doesn't. Real madnism right there as the interior pressure gets to Tannehill and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf for an incompletion.
This is the game if you want to get away with some bad throws. It seems like
Yeah, nobody's catching anything.
waited so
So
long.
another shotgun snap here for Tannehill. He drops back to pass, and he's got Beard open over the middle for a first down. A little secure catch there, immediately gets down. I tell you what, the secure catch and the ability to quickly catch it and tuck it away, is that a little too OP, or are you okay with it?
I use it all the time, almost too much. Mostly because sometimes I'll have running room and then I'll still secure catch it. I kind of like it just because I like being able to detect some of the bad animations you get from Madden. Like you let them do it. Like some leagues do the you can't catch it user catch. You just have to let cards fall where they may, and they'll do like the jump up and try to jump catch when they don't need to, and then they get hit and drop it, or they run out of bounds when they could fall. Put the feet down. So I personally like being able to control it, but I mean sometimes it probably is a little OP where because they never really drop it. I mean,
Never. They don't even really get hit on a possession catch.
yeah,
And I think that's where Helu might be coming from because he jumped in the chat and he said way OP. As we see Tannehill almost with a little butt fumble action as he ran right up the backside of his offensive lineman. Lucky Mark Sanchez isn't his quarterback.
yeah, had a butt fumble situation.
As we see Tannehill drop back to pass, he's got the seam route. Ooh, too high for anybody. It ends up being knocked down by Jesse Bates, but if that would have been any lower, that's probably a pick because that was not there.
There's, oh yeah, oh,
So we see
only
fourth
probably could
and
have had a
10
pick
here.
easy there.
Not quite sure what NB was expecting, but he's in base defense out here. Jesse Bates is being thrown back at the last minute to try and return this. And he does. He gets off the fair catch. Boy, I remember back in the day, Madden would have the hardest time. If you didn't have your genuine return man back there, you almost didn't get the fair catch acknowledged for you. Did you ever run into that playing any of the older Maddens?
I mean it, or sometimes they would drop it, or I mean it, it definitely was something you didn't want to have happen.
As Penny is still in the game. I don't know if this is just NB forgetting his formation sub or maybe this is on purpose, but Penny's gotten the last few handoffs here. I don't think Mixon got hurt.
He might.
There he is. There's Mixon on the field finally. But it's a
Maybe he
nice little
has, like,
1-2 punch. I will say that.
Maybe he's got the subs done like that just to mix it up a little bit. Possibly, I don't know.
To ensure that he's getting Mixon a blow. As we see Burrow blow another short pass on the outside. Oh, I can tell you what, NB's already said a couple things in the Discord about it, but it's definitely getting to him.
I mean, just when you have guys open and he's Burrow, he's not over 90, but he should be accurate enough to hit these kind of passes.
Nice timing route there. Or it's a slant, but I would say that was a little bit of a timing mechanism because T. Higgins wasn't even past the defender yet, and Burrow was already getting the ball out. Great anticipation throw by NB there, seeing the defense that he liked to just fit it in.
That's really what's frustrating sometimes about the way you have to do with Madden is all or nothing. So to have any inaccurate throws, you have to have the random short ones. Sometimes it don't
Oh
make any
my
sense.
goodness, Joe Mixon just totally slapped that dude out of the way. That is one of those Good Morning Football angry runs there. My goodness. Hopefully Gravity doesn't call a play. I was wanting to see that again, but that was violent.
Yeah, he ran him over. Then of course juked out the crazy dive.
As we now take it to the fourth quarter, that's a third quarter that Gravity surely will want to forget. Giving up 13 points there and not really getting close to scoring anything himself. As this game has flipped right now. Now it's still within reason, especially if Gravity can hold NB to a field goal here, but definitely not the second half Gravity was hoping for.
If he's going to turn it around, he better do it quick.
As we see a little clear out for Joe Mixon, and he gets into the end zone untouched. Oh, possibly
the water slide celebration.
Yeah, the water slide. Oh man, I tell you what, that well-designed play there. Play action. All the routes go to the right, and then Mixon finishes the play action by doing a little route over to the left, and he's just got wide open field for him.
I think so that was a catch, so it wouldn't have been a carry. But I think Mixon only had 7 carries going into that play
Yeah,
for
he
74 yards.
he's still in single digits for carries. It's really been a lighter workload day for him, but I mean, he's going to finish, especially after that catch. It puts him over 100 total yards for the game.
He's been good, but maybe that's what it is. He's just trying to try to overdo it, giving too many carries.
Got him on a pitch count. David Montgomery catches the angle route there on first down. He's going to get 11 yards, and that's a guy that's not on any kind of pitch count. He's been on the field almost every snap here. Gravity putting in work for the former Chicago Bear.
Got the nice number 12. I'm sure Otto loves.
Lazard over the middle. That's another Titans first down as Tannehill was well protected there, had all the time in the world.
How do you feel about we might have talked about it before, but the ability to have all the new numbers? The guys get to have linebackers, running backs, all that kind of stuff.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I mean,
I
I get
care,
it,
but I don't use them. I don't utilize it as much as somebody like Otto or looks like Gravity. Like I would not give a running back 12. I'll just
No.
say that.
I get why high school and college does it because their roster's 100 players deep, so they got to go that many numbers. But I've never been. I've actually. I say I get it, but I'm not really a fan of it at the college level, and I'm certainly not a fan of it at the pro level.
I did, and definitely I wouldn't be giving which I don't know if they changed the rules for them or not, but like a defensive tackle with like number 6.
Yeah.
Like that.
If you're over
weird.
275 pounds, you deserve 2 digits in your number.
Yeah. Although I will say in college, sometimes seeing a wide receiver or running back with 0 is kind of cool.
And that was just something that they opened up last year in the COVID protocols that they then just said, you know what, screw it and just make it real rule. Oh, did he tap that toe down? No, he did not. A.J. Brown. It's a 17-point game, early fourth. Are you challenging that?
I don't know. It looked like he just had one foot down, in my opinion.
I thought he might have. Thought he might have tapped that toe down. As we see David Montgomery. Whew, it's a good thing he didn't challenge it. As David Montgomery, a little corner route there out of the backfield, and that's a touchdown for the Titans.
That's one of those new. There's different variations of this play in different playbooks, but the red zones, the running back scissors, red zone play that they added this year.
So
it's become one of those tough to stop. Oh my goodness!
Gravity didn't get the accuracy right on his kick meter and ends up the ball. The wind gets a hold of it, takes it on a 90-degree turn to the left, and that's another missed extra point for the Titans.
That could be 21-30 right now.
I think NB did miss an extra point on his, not this last touchdown, but the touchdown before. And I think that's how we ended up getting back on the touchdown field goal point differential. But now we're back to a 2-point conversion and a touchdown 2-point conversion and field goal.
They still got to make a stop, but that could come back to haunt him if he actually does have a chance to win the game. To go from, you would only need a touchdown and field goal to need a 2-point conversion.
Now, are you someone that say he gets the stop here, as we see wide open T. Higgins, but it's incomplete. He does not get the second foot down. Oh wow. I think I'd be challenging that one if I was in B, playing with a little house money. But doesn't look like anything's coming, so I'll go back to my hypothetical for you. Say he does get the stop here and scores a touchdown. Are you for this hypothetical, let's take us back to the third quarter, or really just any quarter in general. Is there a quarter that you're not going for the 2-point conversion when you're down 11 and score the touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I probably wouldn't even think about it in the first half or so. But you definitely want to do it now if he scores. I mean, it's probably a better percentage play maybe to do it early even, but I mean, at that point, down 11, I mean, maybe I should be thinking about it, but I'm usually not.
Yeah, because I
In
mean
fact,
the
sometimes if
sheet
it,
or whatever you want to call it now in the fourth quarter definitely would say go for it, but it just seems like you're as we see Burrow miss another outside pass, and that is a
oh
huge
man,
stop for the Titans defense. Even if they did get a little help from both the referees and an inaccurate Joe Burrow, but with the rate you're seeing, more math come into to football. You're probably seeing that go, as a go for it situation from a few different teams, at least the ones that embrace the analytical side of things. Um, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, gravity needs a touchdown here, regardless, as we know.
yeah. Sometimes I don't think about the 2 point conversions until it suggests it for me.
What's that?
Then I'm
So
like, oh
I
yeah,
ended up
good
having the
idea.
headset. I knocked my headset adapter out, so I couldn't hear you for a second there.
I was just saying, sometimes I don't think about 2 point conversions until Madden does what it suggests 2 point conversions for you. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I should. I'm not always the best at keeping up with that when I'm playing.
Oh, after a big stop, Gravity tries to test the one on one there as he had Beard going up against. Let's see if I can find this name for us real quick here. Either way, one on one coverage did not go to the favor of the offense there. It was picked off. It's Von Bell, the Buckeye safety for the Cincinnati Bengals, with a big time interception.
Guarantee he picked, where you have the little option to celebrate. Guarantee he picked dance on that
Dance.
because he did that little dance. No way he went without having selected one of those, I bet.
Because he is toxic after all.
Yeah, I mean, it's the new world order.
As we see another warp sack on a defensive tackle there. Not the ankle biting variety, but can we call that the spider monkey? Because it looked like he just wrapped himself around him like a spider monkey.
Yeah, I wanted to see the replay. He picked the play too quick, but those kind of like that look so weird when it warps into it.
As we see Bradshaw take that one, really a short pass over the middle, and takes it well past the first down marker. Big time first down for the Bengal offense as they're looking to, they're not quite in 4 minute offense mode, but they're going to get into it here shortly.
And I mean, even though it's an 11 point game, I mean that's still close enough to where it's better than maybe we thought it was going to be. Haven't even gotten into any sandwich talk.
No sandwich talk yet. So we've had to table our sandwich conversation that we joked in our scheduling thread as to, in case this was much like Gravity's first broadcast. I will say he may not get the dub here, but definitely this showing is worthy of as we see Simmons again. Oh, but Joe Burrow steps aside and he's going to scramble. He's going to take it down. He's going to go inside of the 20-yard line to the 16-yard line for the Bengal offense. But as I was saying,
Gravity just wildly flailing.
but this showing
Even at the
this
end of the play, he dove out of bounds.
right, he's doing a little slip and slide action out there. As we see Penny take the shotgun handoff, and he's going to get 11 yards there. I keep trying to say this dang thing. As this showing has definitely given Gravity a little bit more cred. But, he's bounced back from his first showing.
I mean, it's definitely been a good showing to make a game of it.
Jamar Chase, a man who has really been silent in this game, he takes the jet sweep handoff for the touchdown. I'm shocked that we've probably called his name. That's probably the third time all game we've called his name.
Yeah, he's tried to go deep a couple of times with him, but not much success. And which some of these overthrows and bad throws probably were intended for him. And so maybe we would have called his name more. Burrow wouldn't have been so off. Yeah, the first game, I mean, by halftime, we were talking about hamburger places. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely looking better now. That's something to build on. I mean, he can know that this is kind of the uh, playing MB is sort of the league standard, I guess you could say.
The
You
benchmark.
can compare yourself to, and which of course he did have a lot of overthrows that kind of affected the outcome, I'm sure.
And I mean, Tannehill, by and large, has had a good game for him. I mean, nowhere near the oh, there's another one in double coverage. There's another one in triple coverage. We're not saying that anywhere near as much as we did last week.
Definitely improving on that part of the game.
As we see a ill-advised secure catch there, as that's one of those ones where you want the guy to come back to the ball, so you make that Y catch and then just speed past the poor defensive animation because whenever a defender's trying to catch the ball and they're out of position, it takes them way out of position where they got no chance to catch you.
Looked like he was trying to decide between the hitch route and that route, and MB guessed right.
As we see two guys running relatively the same route, only about 5 yards of separation from each other in terms of depth, but it's a big play for the Titans as they're now inside Bengal territory, running the no huddle, knowing they need 3 scores. Overthrows everybody. A.J. Brown, the intended receiver there, but that really never had a chance.
That was probably a fortunate overthrow because if he would have actually got it more on target, the DB was right there ready to make a pick.
Yeah. As we see 2nd and 10 here for the Tennessee Titans offense as Tannehill drops back to pass. He's got Beard up the seam, but he drops the football. Hit right as he was trying to secure the catch. That's going to, oh man, that's Beard over the middle. That's something we've called up quite a bit in this game. As we mentioned in our first broadcast with Gravity, Beard is a highly touted young tight end for him. Oh, here's
Overall,
a double.
he's been good this game.
That was a double coverage throw. Again, Gravity's lucky that one falls to the turf. He was going to Alan Lazard there on a corner route that really had no chance.
Yeah, that had to have been one of those predetermined where you're going kind of passes because only had one receiver that had 2 guys on him. That just happened to be the one he threw to.
4th and 10 here. Largely the ball game at stake. A.J. Brown motions to the middle of the field, and that's where he's going with his route as Jesse Bates knocks down the pass, and that's going to do it from Nashville more than likely. This 18-point game with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left. Bengals going into 4-minute offense mode. In fact, let's check the Discord. Is Gravity waving the white flag? Probably not. I mean, I know I wouldn't. Oh, no, he did. You can run/kneel it out. GG's in the chat from Gravity. NB may not have seen it because as we see a little pitch pass here to Moore, and Gravity's going to punish him for it, except my kneel it out. Gosh darn it. I'm shocked with the rain that there was no fumble there.
Yeah, and that would have been pretty funny with somebody saying you can kneel it out, run the clock, and then on a little pitch pass, if he would have actually fumbled that, that's some karma.
As we see Joe Mixon get the first down here on the first down handoff. I wonder if NB will take Gravity on his request here now that he's gotten the first down. The 2-minute warning has passed.
Yeah,
granted, we are talking about Mr. Toxic
knees
here.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Oh, there it is.
I was hoping he would just stick to being the heel and go for like a play action deep bomb.
That would have been the true heel move, the play action bomb, and then the celebration into the end zone.
Do like an airplane going in the end zone or something,
Exactly.
And that would have been almost worth it just to see that. But I don't want to encourage him too much if he actually hears that.
So these guys know that they're on the internet for the world to see. Sometimes we've wondered sometimes if somebody did something a certain way because of being featured on Awful Night of Football, but NB's going to cool it with his toxicity for now.
Some people turn it up and some people tone it down a little bit.
Turn down for what? No. As we see the final seconds click away here, tick off the clock. It's going to go down as a final score of the Cincinnati Bengals 37, the Tennessee Titans 19. Gravity takes the loss here, but great showing nonetheless. Charter, we didn't get a chance to go over this, so I just want to ask you real quick before we go off the air. The whole news from this week. Isn't it kind of funny that everybody's by and large reaction to future updates canceled was, I didn't know there was going to be any updates.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. Which there was a couple of things that was possibly going to be on the docket that was talked about in some of the Discord chats that I'm in that I can't really share, but I'm guessing that must have been some of it. I wasn't aware of any like major updates, I'll say that. And so whenever I saw that, I was like, huh, wonder what that was even going to be. And then I thought, well, that'd be for the best because how sometimes these updates get released and the bugginess and the you could have an update that crashes our whole league, and so it's like it saved us from from having that happen. I don't know,
Yeah.
but definitely was one of those kind of if based on what we've been told, franchise mode going to be a live service kind of deal, and then for them to kind of pull the rug out, it was like now we see I don't know. I don't really know the reason. They pulled guys supposedly, according to that article, to do the NCAA football game, but I don't know. But I guess the stream is over now.
I just thought it was funny, and I couldn't let you go
Yeah,
or without covering it since it was the topical thing this
yeah,
week. But didn't even know. But all
yeah,
right. On that note, we will go ahead and sign off for now. This has been an awful night of football. Thank you so much, Charter, for joining me. Thank you so much for watching the
yeah.
stream. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Twitch. We do feature the awful night of football every week, and then I do my own games here. Every time I get on the sticks for the After Work Football League, including a special Bald and Beautiful, should be Bald and Beautiful, but with Papa Perry. But until next time, we'll catch y'all later, and we'll see you out on the field.